Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Waxing with Wade. This is going to be episode number 27, and I'm going to do something a little different this week and branch off from my typical classic rock vinyl reviews and do something a little different. I already once did that with a 2010 album by Trampled by Turtles. It was more bluegrass. Today we're going to delve into some soul, R&B, funk and blues, and this is a fabulous album. I'll tell you a little more about it. Let me show you the front cover. Summer of Soul. Okay, let me tell you what this is if you're not familiar with it. In 1967, 8, and 9, there were huge music festivals, particularly in 1969 because it grew, that were held in New York City on Sunday afternoons in Harlem at Mount Morris Park, free to the public. They were sponsored by Maxwell House Coffee and the Parks, Rec, and Cultural Affairs Department of the City of New York. And this was free to the public. It was called the Harlem Cultural Festival. And it featured live music and vendors and that type of thing. And it got to be a really big deal in the area, but it didn't get a lot of press coverage. Certainly didn't get the kind of coverage that Woodstock got, though in the summer of '69, they called it the Black Woodstock because it was going on at the same time Woodstock was, but for multiple weekends. So it was filmed. There were bits of it shown on television back in '69 and '70, but not much at all. And then all the tapes were stored away, and for decades. An attempt was made at one point to try to put them together into a film, and funding ran out. Then came along Questlove, who you may know is the leader of the band on Jimmy Fallon, The Roots. His name is Amir Thompson. So Questlove made his directorial debut and created a documentary of a lot of this footage. It won the Sundance Prize for Best Documentary, and it won the Academy Award for Best Documentary. And I highly recommend you see it. It is fabulous. It came out in 2021, I believe. So my daughter, Catherine, has this vinyl, double vinyl that was released of music from the film. I borrowed it to do this episode. I don't have a lot of new vinyl myself. I wish I had this one, but we borrowed it a couple times and just love playing it. You're gonna love this. It featured big name acts. You should look up this on Wiki. Harlem Cultural Festival, Summer of Soul. Anyway, let me show you just a brief look. I don't know if you can read these. I'll read off some of them to you. The artists that are featured on this album, and there's even more in the film, I believe. So we're going to have the Chambers Brothers, Time Has Come Today. You know that big hit by them. It's not on here, but the Chambers Brothers, who are from Mississippi. B.B. King, The Fifth Dimension. David Ruffin doing My Girl, lead singer of the Temptations, but without the rest of the Temptations in this case. Staple singers, Mahalia Jackson and Mavis Staples. This also featured some gospel. Gladys Knight and the Pips, Herbie Mann, Sly and the Family Stone, and Nina Simone, who, if you have not heard of, I'm going to tell you a little bit about later. Let me show you this shot on the inside of the album that I think is just wonderful. It's a great photo, and it's probably, there's a lot of scenes like this on the films, the crowd and everything in the movie. So, let me spotlight a few songs. Is there anything else I wanted to mention about this? I don't think so. It's a shame that it went so long without people really getting to experience it. But now, in its full glory in that film and on this record, it's great. You can stream this. I suggest you do. And I'm going to start it off right at the beginning with the Chambers Brothers doing their hit Uptown. I'm just going to give you a little sample.
Welcome to the heart of Harlem, Soulsville, USA. This is Tony Lawrence and 50,000 beautiful people here in Mount Morris Park. and we ask you to join us in a soul music festival. Now from Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen, the Chambers Brothers. Do it to it. Suck it to me. You like it, daddy, yeah. Like it, very fatty, yeah. Do it. I'm going uptown too hard to let my act down. Little hard, if the taxi won't take me out, catch a train. I'll go underground. I get that just the same because I'm going uptown too hard. I'm gonna let my act down. 120, here I come. Ready for me.
All right, there's a little taste of that. I can't play too much because I've got lots of songs I want to spotlight. Coming up second here is B.B. King, Why I Sing the Blues. You hear a little bit of this beautiful B.B. King guitar. There it is.
Yes, everybody wanna know why I sing the blues. I say everybody wanna know why I sing the blues. You know I've been around a long time. People I really think I do. I first got the blues.
Man, this does sound good on this. Notice this record's in pristine condition because it's a new heavyweight vinyl. Catherine, I'll try to be careful with it. Two songs by the Fifth Dimension finish out that side. They were famous for their version of, and it's on here, it's the last song, Aquarius, and Let the Sun Shine In. So that's a treat. I'm not going to play that. And also, I'm not going to play My Girl. You've heard that a million times, but David Ruffin sings that solo, who's the original singer from The Temptations. And then I want to spotlight this song, though, that I love. This is kind of, after My Girl becomes the gospel section. There's a few gospel tunes by the Edwin Hawkins Singers, and then this one by the Staple Singers that I love, the groove of it.
Come on now, let's blow this thing out. Yeah.
Some are pushing hard, some are holding back. You know it's a shame the way some people act. The president said we would overcome. We gotta keep pushing on till the work is done. It's been a change. It's been a change. It's been a change. This whole world has been a change.
Well, I love some blues gospel like that. And then the last song is a long wailing gospel number by the Operation Breadbasket Orchestra and Choir, featuring Mahalia Jackson and Mavis Staples. You probably know who they are. They're very famous. If you don't, look them up. Okay, let me switch records here. This is a double album. Now, the lead song on the third side is I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Gladys Knight and the Pips. But what I'd like to play for you a bit of, I'm sure you've heard that, that's their version. Gladys Knight's version is more upbeat than the Marvin Gaye or the Creedence version. You can stream that if you're not familiar with it. And this is the instrumental by, originally by Herbie Hancock, called Watermelon Man, which you may recognize. And this is done by a band called Mongo Santa Maria. after that, we got Ray Barretto. Then I'm not going to play this one, but Hold On, I'm Coming, which is original Sam and Dave song. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Hold On, I'm Coming. And the Blues Brothers covered it, actually written by young Isaac Hayes, co-written. And there's an instrumental version of that by Herbie Mann that finishes this side. And this is kind of the jazz area of the records. Now, I'm going to move on to Sly and the Family Stone, who have two songs on here, but I'm going to play just a little bit of their big hit, Everyday People. So that song was written by Sly himself, and his real name is Sylvester Stewart. Now, the last artist featured on this side and on the record is Nina Simone. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She is probably should be as household a name as Aretha Franklin. I mean, she didn't have hits so much on Top 40, but she was an incredible singer, writer, stage performer. I suggest if you do not know who Nina Simone is, you just go to YouTube and search her and some concert footage, and you will see. She's so dynamic, just fabulous. We discovered her, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago maybe, and sadly it took that long in our lives to find her. But you can't go wrong with Nina Simone. And as you'll hear here, this is a song, next to the last song on the album. Just give you a taste of her, because I'm actually going to feature one of her albums that my other daughter Maddie has. I'm going to borrow, feature it in another episode coming up in the future. So just give you a taste of her, Backlash Blues. Taste of Nina Simone. She was famous all over the world in her day, in the 60s mainly, probably late 50s through the early 70s. And it's a shame that she's not as big a name with most people as other artists, though she certainly is with critics and in the music industry. So check her out, and please come back next week. And I hope you really enjoyed this episode that's a little different than my ones I typically do. I sure enjoyed doing it, and I always love playing this record. See you next week.